Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. So today we are going to be doing another episode of 5 things you didn't know here on Dark Souls 3. Like I said, I really don't know when the last episode is going to be out, and like I also said on all other videos, the more we do of this, the more chances are that you know these things. But you know, nonetheless, I think there's 5 things here that maybe not everybody knows. We'll see anyway. Not all of them are mechanically game-changing or anything like that. Some of them are just little details and interesting things that maybe most of you haven't noticed. So yeah guys, let's get on with it. Number 1. So there's actually a game mechanic that was in Dark Souls 1, but I know there is a lot of new players, and even people that did play Dark Souls 1 probably didn't know this. So there's a thing called Overkill in Dark Souls 3 and Dark Souls in general. So Overkill, what it is if you do an unnecessary amount of damage to finish off an enemy and go way over his HP limit, you will get about 20% more souls from that enemy. So obviously if you get him down to like a few HP and then backstab him or something, that's normally going to count as an overkill. And obviously like in the video I'm showing, if you are a high level and you go back to the start, then pretty much every kill is an overkill if you've got a maxed out weapon. Very little interesting mechanic in the game that a lot of people may not know, and more surprisingly it's been in the game since Dark Souls 1. So moving on to number 2, this is actually kind of useful for PvP, maybe not as useful in Dark Souls 3 as it was in Dark Souls 1. So yeah, this was also a thing in Dark Souls 1 that many people may not know. So if there's somebody using Humming Crystal Somas, especially in PvP, all you have to do is put down an Alluring Skull. As long as there's an Alluring Skull on the floor, the Humming Crystal Somas will not go off. So you can just get behind him, backstab him, and until that skull disappears, they will not fire. I say this is more useful in Dark Souls 1 because the Alluring Skulls did last a lot longer in Dark Souls 1. But even so, Dark Souls 3, the Alluring Skulls do last a tiny bit. So you can get time to punish him for that, as long as there's an Alluring Skull on the floor, which is kind of cool, especially for PvP. Number 3, there's more of a little detail in the game that maybe most of you haven't noticed. So in the Catacombs, when we destroy the second rolling ball of skulls, the one we get the Dark Gem off of, not only do we get a dark gem, but inside this ball, there will be a little crab. I'm not sure if anybody's really realised that, but this little crab comes out of that ball when it breaks. I'm not really sure what it means. I think it's just a little detail, maybe to say that there's a secret area around because this guy's not really meant to be here, and there are crabs down in the Smoldering Lake. But what would be really cool if somebody could try it out and somebody could somehow get this little crab down to the big crabs in Smoldering Lake, see if something happens, you know, kind of like the little hog, the little boar in Seldora from Dark Souls 2, something like that would be really cool. But I don't think it may not be quite possible to get that little crab to survive the drop where the bridge is, to be honest. But it'd be really cool if somebody could test that out just out of curiosity. But yeah, nonetheless, a little detail that maybe a lot of you haven't noticed. Moving on to number 4, this is actually a bit more of a personal experience, but it's still something pretty interesting. So when the game came out, like my first playthrough, I got to Anno Londo. I kind of looked back and say, oh, that's kind of cool. I can see a few buildings from the past or whatnot. I can see the High Wall of Lothric and so on. And then I kind of seen this building over here to the right, and you know, because at the first time I played through it, I didn't really know much of the map and where everything's meant to be, and I just kind of thought, oh, this must be the Cathedral of the Deep. Obviously that's not the case. Going through the game a few other times, I kind of know what the game's meant to look like, and I'm like, well, if that thing over there to the left is where we fight the tree boss in the Undead Settlement, that can't be the Cathedral of the Deep, because the Cathedral of the Deep is clearly to the right of the Undead Settlement, which would in this case be behind it. And obviously you can go to where we killed Bort. You can clearly see that's the case, and even from when we first get into Undead Settlement, you can see that's the case clearly. So then I kind of forgot about it for a bit, and I was kind of like, I don't think that's kind of a building. It just didn't feel like it was a building that you can see from various areas. And it just felt like one of those buildings, I'm sure we must have visited this place. It's not like From that they put buildings in the game and you can see them from various places. We just don't visit them. It took me for ages to figure this out. It actually came to me today when I noticed it again, after I forgot about this building for ages. Today I went to the first bonfire in the Undead Settlement, you know, where we first come in, where the demon guys drop you off, and I looked down and I could see this building. Suddenly I was like, well, it looks a hell of a lot like Sen's Fortress, you know, like the trees around the entrance, the archway and all that, but I'm like, obviously that's not the case. And then it just clicked, and I kind of like realized where that was on the map, surrounded by trees. And yes, obviously it's this place. It's where we fight the Abyss Watchers, and it just took me so long to figure this out, but it's really cool. I mean, even from the door, from the entrance where we fight the Abyss Watchers, you can actually look up and see the Undead Settlement and like the little wall and the broken bridge and all that, and it's just a really cool detail. Maybe a lot of people know this, maybe everybody's saying, well, you're a fucking idiot for not seeing this, but I don't know, it's just a little personal experience that I've had since the game came out, and I'm actually really happy I know what that bloody building is now, you know. So yeah guys, that is number 4. I apologise if a lot of people knew that already, or it's just bloody obvious for a lot of you, but yeah, that's just a bit of a personal experience that I've had on this game. So moving on to the 5th one, this is actually really useful for PvP and even PvE. I've seen this from a guy on Reddit. I think he was called Trusty Skeleton or something like that, so well done for figuring this out. So a lot of people like to use Tears of Denial in PvP and even for PvE, but nobody really wants to get that faith up to 15, and plus you need like 100 focus points, which, you know, for a lot of knights and all that, they don't have that amount of focus points, and the characters what do, then it uses it straight away. So there is a way around this. All we need is 10 faith. As long as you've got 10 faith, you can use Tears of Denial with the help of 3 rings, obviously. So all we need is the Dark Moon ring, which will give us the two attunement slots we need. The Priestess ring to increase faith by 5, so obviously that makes the 15 faith we need to use it. And the Dusk Crown ring, if we do not have that 100 focus points, which a lot of the starting characters do not have that 100 focus points. So if we have those 3 rings equipped, we can use Tears of Denial as long as we've got 10 faith. And this is really useful for PvP or even PvE. You just put the rings on, use it, take them off, and you know, you can get on with your life. Put different rings on and just go back to your normal build. So yeah guys, there you go, 5 new things that you may have not known about Dark Souls 3. If that is the case and you didn't know one of them or various ones, please let me know which ones in the comments. If you have any other good ideas for these kind of videos, let me know in the comments also. And yeah guys, if you enjoyed this, please go like and subscribe. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter. You can support the channel more directly on Patreon, which is much appreciated, and we'll see you next time guys.
Where to go from here is clear, I'm on my own, yet I still feel off the chain like stolen bicycles. It was drilled in my head that I'm a selfish fuck, that I get on my own nerves when I talk too much. Told that I live my life disconnected and empty, with a smile that's insane as if I'm overly friendly. So do what you will, I'm still here and I won't leave. But look at how mean you can be, that is so sweet. Run for the hills, I'm as ill as your whole team. Drove off a cliff and I landed on both feet. Well, I admit that I'm done with the old me. The dirtier it gets, the more I'm feeling I'm so clean, that I don't need Molly to be rolling with these changes. I'm at the library in a quiet meditation. Damn, people look pissed off and too abrasive, with lots of personality and no conversation. An epic name is who inspired me to think, and I've hit the home run, I'm just rounding all the bases. I'm skydiving into your world, designed to fly, flying up from the earth will not be defeated. Hell is for freezing, scream till it's peaceful as walking on beaches. Laugh at how dark it can get in this place, as if you're eating the soul of a demon for strength. I was